Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to our new show, Into the Vault. I'm your host, Mitchell. Into the Vault is a new show we're starting. It's going to be us reaching into the old vault of old and forgotten movies and TV shows and kind of bringing them back to life. And so, for our first episode, I'm going to be reviewing the 1932 Mummy, starring Boris Karloff. So, this is definitely an oldie. And it's one of the original Universal monster movies. So, in celebration of the new Mummy movie came out last Friday, starring Tom Cruise, and Universal's attempt to start a whole dark universe, I thought, why not give the original Mummy its own little review? The premise is pretty straightforward. The Mummy has been resurrected, and he is trying to resurrect the old princess that he fell in love with during his time, but this princess has been reincarnated into a woman named Helen. Helen is in love with another man, though, named Frank. And so, as the mummy tries to resurrect the old princess, it brings back all the memories of the princess to Helen. So, the rest of the movie is kind of Frank trying to win Helen back while also trying to kill the mummy, while the mummy is trying to bring the princess back by killing Helen so that he can then re-revive her. And then, yeah, that's basically the movie. It's a little convoluted, but a little complicated and didn't make too much sense, but hey, the movie came out in 1932. I can't really say too much. And despite all that, I thought it was really enjoyable. For a classic horror movie, it delivered everything I thought it was going to. I mean, it wasn't much of scary or horror. It was more really creepy. Boris Karloff, there was maybe one shot, you've probably seen it before, of just his face, where they have it lit up a certain way so his eyes are dark, and then they come into the light as he opens them or as the light shines on them, and it is creepy. I watched this alone at night, and it wasn't to the point where I was scared, but it was like, made me look around a few times just to make sure I was actually alone. Because the mummy has these powers where he can just kill people from anywhere through a magic watering hole or something. Like I said, movie came out in 1932. There was a lot of things that didn't make too much sense. But honestly, I thought it was a super enjoyable movie. There was no point where I was like, why am I watching this? Why am I wasting the time on this? It was a fun ride. Uh, the characters the characters were so like typical for that time. The man and the woman just meet, and then he's in love with her because she's so beautiful, but then she's torn because she doesn't know she needs or wants to live this old life as the princess, and then the whole ending comes together in about like a minute. There was like this the whole third act of the final battle between the mummy and Helen and Frank was like maybe there was 2 minutes left in the movie. Helen becomes full princess and calls upon the gods to remember the spell or the curse, and she breaks the curse, and then the mummy dies, and then the movie's over. It's like the movie ends as the mummy dies, and the magic scripture bursts, and that's literally the last scene. There's no like there's there's no resolution. It's like they all die, and then you just assume that everyone's happily ever after. But I mean, but besides that, I keep like pointing out all these bad things about it, but it was really it was really enjoyable. Um, if you're into it, if you're into the old classic movies and just those kinds of stuff, I would suggest watching it. If you're not into it, and if you're not, if you're bored of black and white stuff, then the movie's not for you. But if you have a taste for that kind of stuff, honestly, I'd give it a watch, and you've probably already watched it. I guess I'll have to rate this movie. Uh, let's see. I'd probably give it like a 7 to 7.5. I mean, there's definitely a lot of flaws, but hey, the movie came out, like I said, 1932. Take that into account. it's still a good movie. If you got some time to kill, I'd watch it. If you're not into it, you could skip it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is the first episode of Into the Vault. Again, I'm your host Mitchell. If you like what you're hearing, give us a like, maybe subscribe. Let me know if you guys see the movie down below. Comment if you agree, disagree. Are you excited for the new Mummy? What about the Brendan Fraser Mummy? Let's discuss. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/yourmindon. That's enough plugs for now. See you guys next time.